Hello. It has been a while. We have been,
Uh,
yeah, it has actually been a while. So, welcome to the second episode of Black and White Draftcast. I'm joined by uh, Miko and Zinc again. Hello.
Hi,
Hello.
hi.
And in today's episode, we're aiming to go over what changed after Black and White 1 happened. How did the tournament overall go, and then what tiering changes happened, why they happened, and then about the future of Black and White Draft. Uh, and you two can go first ahead, I guess, with the how did the tournament go? Did you two watch the final most of the games?
Yeah, I watched all
Uh,
of top eight onward. Yeah.
I
They were
watched,
very fun games to watch.
yeah, I watched very few of the games, as they were coming, as they were, being posted. But I did watch the finals. It was a very good finals.
Yeah, that it was.
Uh, really good teams on display. That also, sum up pretty accurately, I think, the what's good in the metagame. So,
Yeah,
Yeah,
but yeah,
for sure.
I didn't actually watch most of these games, so I might be a
Fair
little
enough.
uninformed about them.
yeah.
I was very invested because two of the people who beat me went very far, so it was cool to watch them and watch them play a bunch of games too.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of kept on watching after even after I lost so early on, in because yes, I kind of had to. So I mostly kept up with mostly kept up with Odin because Odin is a good friend of mine, and then I kept up with obviously Komiko and Mona and Coltier and Fliss is a or we rather is a friend, I guess to an extent. And then I was really happy with watching with CBB's games because those were super exciting as the teams were so his team was so offensive and like fucking round four of unders with the Dragonite was so stupid to watch. This I need to
Mhm.
delete. Hold on. I need to figure this out because I don't want to leak all my information from my. Uh,
You can just turn off desktop notifications.
yeah, that's what I'm exactly
There's
what
just a
I'm doing.
button.
Perfect.
Yeah, they should be good now. Yeah. So yeah, what kind of happened, at least for metal developments that I kind of expected to happen, which was that Voltern was gonna become the strongest team style. That is what we predicted in the first podcast episode. So I was kind of glad to see that we predicted correctly. And obviously, in top 16, there is nothing but offense here. Oh, my bad. I'm bad. Hold on. Yeah, I should have figured this out before. Okay, that should figure it. Yeah. So we kind of what we expected to happen happened in the regard that um, Voltern was gonna become king, and then other styles of offense would follow. And in this top 16, there were a ton of good, interesting teams like this Sand team, for example, with Breloom that was completely undrafted outside of this team, and it still went so far. Obviously, Esmore ended up losing to FC, but that is what it is at times. And then, like this hyper offense team by Sammy was really cool. This Iridist, like half stall team, which somewhat bordered offense, was really cool. It was the only like fat team that prevailed in a long term. I guess Coltier's team is a fat one to an extent, but I would call it more of a bulky offense, to be honest. If I
I think, yeah, I methink I think Cultiors is a pretty like it looks like a balance to me. Like if I had to ascribe a term to it, just because like you have like Hippowdon Slowking with like Hippowdon Slowking with a spinner. It's like just like pretty solid
Yeah,
defensive backbone for this sort
Yeah.
of team.
yeah. Uh, yeah, and this top 16 was kind of the last time we saw any like interesting differential teams, I would say, because then we go to top 8 and then all teams are just fucking offense. There is nothing else but offense in top 8 outside of this Culture team, or I think.
There was like yeah, at least that like
There is.
Chansey Dusclops backbone, which was like interesting, but not necessarily like it's hard to classify. But I
Yeah,
thought that team was like at least a little off the beaten path. Yeah.
yeah. And yeah, uh, something that I did notice was that there were kind of a lot of surprises in people who went far and who went out early. Like, okay, first of all, the rule was really unlucky, so Misum got fucking Mona in top 32. So we obviously would
Oh
always
no.
lose one of the council members in that. And then the game was really bad. So it was a total,
That's really
like,
unfortunate.
yeah, it was really unfortunate. And I mean, Misum left us after that. Well, he's leaving all of Smogon after now,
Mhm. Mhm.
which put, which was quite the surprising thing for as a mod to experience, but that was fine. And yeah, top 16 kind of what expected to happen, and then we went to top 8. Erde is still holding strong, obviously a really strong player, so not that surprising. Then and with 64 squares, Ryza, Gialis, Odin, like all of this, but Bob, like Amesh1, who later now is banned from Smogon, is or was banned from all Smogon circles. What were like expected. Brandon even, Kumiko obviously, Kumiko being super strong player,
Mhm.
Mhm.
and then we,
Um,
oh yeah,
I did want to comment really quick on one of the teams from top 16. That being yeah, the uh Schmur's team. Um Schmur's team reminds me a lot of like a it reminds me very much of a DPP the DPP Loomtran cores. With like the T-Tar, T-Tar, Heatran, Breloom obviously are like all important parts of that. Um but like it reminds me a lot of that in terms of like the style of offense that it is because it's not very pivot heavy, but it's just like a sort of a well-rounded bulky offense team that makes use of all of these guys. And I imagine like Poison Heal, Breloom, and Sand. I don't know what I don't know exactly like uh what Schmur's replays look like, but I would be interested to see like whether or not he really did just run with Technician every game, or whether or not he abused Sand Poison Heal at any point.
Mhm.
yeah,
Looks
that's
very well poised to do both.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it definitely can do both, depending on the matchup. But
Yeah, the team
or
was
the
interesting in that regard that it was the only Prelume that got far, like, and
Mhm.
now that Prelume price dropped after, it was still like, now it looks even more enticing on teams like this. So I'm excited to see if Prelume becomes a bigger meta threat. It didn't have a good draft rate in Black and White Swiss one, but still some people did try it. I think, which I hope now players are more like willing to try it out now that it's cheaper, for example.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think it's like neat overall, like what it compresses, but it also can just definitely suffer from a lack of flexibility. I think it has like a few good tools, but just not quite enough to push it over the edge to be commonly seen.
Yeah, because yeah, it doesn't have
I
Spore.
think like I don't know how commonly used like Swords Dance and like things similar to that are used in Black and White specifically, but I think there are I think there are like a few options, but not a ton, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Then we got to top 8, and we had Terrakion, 3 Terrakions, which was really funny to me.
Mhm.
And in top 4, I think there were 2 Terrakions. Yeah, there were 2 Terrakions because Alice and Bobby won. And here it just kind of. I watched, I think, all of these games live, outside of Iriday versus Bobios, because I was doing something else. I got this Magialis and Odin game live, which I actually have selected as a replay over here because it was a very good game. And then Kumiko's game I caught live, absolute banger. And then I caught this. I don't remember a lot about this game, but I know that it was a fairly good game. I know the semis games were pretty awful. That was the unfortunate thing where, like, Comico was proving that they are kind of the best player around for the format. So it was just them ass handing everyone else, and then Alice putting up a good fight, but then getting outplayed in the later halves. So the final was really good though.
Right.
But the Odin game, this game in specific, I at least personally enjoyed really watching. And if you would allow me to, I would want to quickly go over it because it was such a
Yeah, for
good
sure.
game.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. So
I mean, would you mind like I don't know if how like this would look on your end, but could you like zoom in a little bit maybe
I could.
to like
Yeah, that'd be
I feel like it might be a little bit small for the viewers. Yeah, okay,
yeah,
that's
that
great.
will be
That's
good.
perfect.
Yeah. So obviously the two Voltron, the two interesting teams. Hard Voltron on Alice's side, and I have had a bad habit of calling every single U-turning team a Voltron team when they're not, but they have like this strong Terrakion offense from Odin's side. So it was very interesting. This game was kind of interesting in the regard that it played out very differently than I expected, at least myself. Where
Right.
I expected Alice to win, obviously, but because she had the Cresselia, and the Cresselia had a good ass matchup after this Hydreigon died. So, with a calm mindset, or if it wanted to be like Lunar Dance, it could support this Terrakion and Azelf really well, and this potential Swords Dance Scizor. But then that kind of it somewhat ended up happening, but didn't. Or this and that was due to the Rotom just going solo early on. But yeah, let's go over it. So obviously this lead, nothing too surprising, and then just yeah, protect to scout the potential
Yeah.
Scarfed. Reveals, yeah, pretty nasty flinch, but doesn't change the game at all because Terrakion is
Yeah.
in. Did you even?
Yeah, this is such a huge risk. Like oh, the justified boost is like this ability like never comes up until
Mhm.
it suddenly comes up. Uh, so
Yeah, definitely. It's like very scary if you're like scarf locked into it, or even trying to just bluff being scarf locked into it, and you have to take that boosted Terrakion now. It's
Yeah.
very precarious.
I don't remember this item, but I think it was choice banded, so this basically has a sword stance now, and it's clicking it for free. So like,
Yeah.
it is very scary. I hope, yeah. And this thing proving why it's so cracked. I mean, it wasn't choice banded because this would have been a 2-hit KO, but
Yeah.
even still, Coffee Creek is proving why it's so good.
Hmm.
mhm,
So yeah,
for sure, it's a great one.
great mon.
Yeah, this thing's nuts.
Yeah, crucial Willow miss there. Obviously,
Yeah.
Rotom is getting low because it's burned, and it is getting chipped because nothing really wants to switch into a Draco on Alice's
Yeah,
side.
putting that on timer would be huge.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but then there was a pretty funny misplay in not too long. It doesn't happen in this exchange, but it happens later on, I think. Because there is a pretty massive misplay later on, which just turns the tide of the game totally. Yeah, Cress. Big Cress. Yeah, just look at how fucking fat this thing is. Yeah, like, I know Serperior isn't the strongest one, but even still, fucking 14% from a Giga Drain. It's so fat. Yeah, Subseed revealed pretty soon, I think. Yeah. Not yet, okay. And then just Volturn moment.
Yeah.
And then the pretty big misplay after, because the roost was so bad at the end of the day. Like, this was an awful move, I think. It was like, fair enough, but I really don't get why you don't go for the kill here.
Yeah. It's like
yeah, it doesn't make any sense because like you're not gonna preserve the 9% Rotom, so like you might as well just go for a click here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then a free wall switch, and then kind of Scizor just gets
I guess, yeah.
U-turn over.
This Hydreigon doesn't really have much of a capacity to do anything to Terrakion, really, which I thought was...
Yeah.
It's something I didn't notice on first watch, honestly. It's very...
Yeah.
interesting. At least you can U-turn out, but that's...
Yeah, it was
It's
pretty
tough.
bizarre thing to do. Yeah, Subseed revealed.
Yeah, I think of, like,
It's
all the
sub-
things to
sub-
disrespect Terrakion is not where I would go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Probably
Subseed
not.
is
Yeah.
unfortunately what this guy's relegated to so much of the time. Just not enough move pool, and the contrary is not here yet.
Superior,
It's so-
yeah, Superior is not a very
This
good
thing is so
Pokemon
disappointing.
in this format.
Yeah.
It feels like it should be cool, right? Because like it's so fast and it has so much. It's
Yeah.
a lot of utility moves and it's got good bulk, but it's like it just doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
Like it just does. It
Yeah.
just doesn't do anything.
Here it is,
like,
not doing
it's-
anything. Yeah.
Like it's so weak and it's just really slow for this format. It's just way too. It's just ineffectual. Like
Well, it's fast for the format, but it doesn't do anything with the speed.
Yeah, it doesn't apply
Yeah, it doesn't- it
pressure.
doesn't, like-
it just
yeah, it does. It really doesn't.
It's a cool one, though, for sure.
I am a fan of this Rocky Helmet Tentacruel, though.
Yeah.
I will say.
yeah,
that.
Helmet Tenta is very interesting. Neat.
I think Donphan here is crazy.
Yeah.
I think. But-
Yeah, I can't explain that one. It works. I'll say that much.
And
In.
also kind of staying with the Tentacruel after you Scald
Yeah.
Vision to it KOing, but whatever. Maybe it's fine.
Yeah, reader stack. I guess if you're playing for the Jirachi, then it's understandable, but I don't think this was Calm Mind. Or it was. Okay, never mind.
Sub CM, yeah.
Yeah, Sub-CM. A pretty good set, to be honest.
Flash Shock. Cool.
Yes,
Yeah, I
sure.
think Sub CM Jirachi is pretty cool.
Yeah, I think it's its second best set. Obviously.
Yeah, I'm-
Choice card. Yeah, this was a cool ass burn, by the way. Like, cost.
Oh, yeah, Kostep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
really cool.
A step
burn.
debond, yeah, is really sick.
Yeah.
I
Obviously,
can agree
this
with that
was
one.
gonna end up in him losing because this Hydreigon was too low, but it's still a very good, cool set all around. I think from Odin, and that kind of bailing him out in many ways. That he had these good assets, but then Alice just being the stronger black and white player wins. It is just what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that like this team yeah, like he did definitely bring the heat. I won't lie. He brought the heat for sure. But like I don't know, like we really really like I understand the Custap debond. The Custap debond Cofagrigus is really sick. But we did just give like way too much ground to the Azelf. Like the Azelf just completely rips us apart,
Yeah,
like always.
yeah.
Um,
It is.
and there's nothing you can really do about it.
Yeah, Asalf is a weird mon because for the longest time thought it was like 15. It should have gone to 15, but it's in a weird position in the meta where it kind of isn't that strong, but it is really strong due to being forced to running Colberberry a lot. And if it's not running Colberberry a lot, it doesn't do
Yeah.
that much damage.
Right. Yes. It's like
Mhm.
it is just appealing because it is a fast and strong psychic type that also gets like Fire Blast, which is like really good. Um, and basically a unique trait besides like yeah, I mean it is a unique trait among fast psychic types.
Yeah.
Um, so
Yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
yeah. And then obviously games moved on. Semis came. This is the correct version. Yeah. And then we had Kumiko, Bobby was six, or this has the wrong matchups. Hold on, there it is. Yeah, so two Terrakions in semis, which just proving why it's such a good mon. Excadrill, so many Excadrills was kind of surprising to me, even though yeah both of them were around two Excadrills. But even still, actually, I didn't consider Excadrill to be the top dog spinner in the format, and it was by far the most successful one. But yeah, it's a cool mon for sure. It didn't move up. I didn't think it should move up like Starmie should have, like it did. And
Yeah.
but it's a
I think that's fair overall.
yeah.
Like the results here are like, yeah, Excadrill is very. Oh, I mean, yeah, you get it round two. It's just very. It's gonna lend itself to success a lot more. I think. I guess it's like a little surprising to see like no Starmie, but at the same time, it's like a sample size of 4, so I can believe it.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean I will point out like um the thing with Starmie is like Starmie oftentimes is going sometimes even late round one or like early round two, which means that it is usually not paired with like as strong of a first pick. So like you get a lot of like Salamence Starmie, or like uh I don't know maybe I don't know what all the other combinations are, but you get a lot like Salamence Starmie is definitely like a common wheel, right? That is a common thing to get on the
Yeah.
wheel or near the end point of the draft. I got it in my draft, like famously matched up against someone with almost the exact same team as me who also got it.
Yeah.
Um, and like so like whereas Excadrill, I think like yeah, like, you can get Excadrill with a lot of stuff. Like you can depending on your pool, you can get like Kyurem Black Excadrill or like Dragonite Excadrill, like a lot easier than you can get that thing plus Starmie, right?
Yeah,
Because
I
Starmie is like
suppose
higher
yeah,
priority pick,
by
and
virtue of it
therefore
being
goes
the
earlier
second
in round
best.
two.
Yeah,
Yes,
it
yeah.
gets on
Like
round
by
two more
virtue of
often.
it being
Okay,
yeah, but by
yeah,
virtue of it being less prioritized than Starmie, it winds up going on teams that like have that are like more offensively potent because you have stuff like Dragonite on it, right?
Yeah. To
Mhm.
Um,
be fair,
where
Starmie Dragonite is not uncommon.
yeah, it's not unheard of, but I would think I don't know. I would have to see the numbers. I feel
Mhm.
like Starmie Dragonite Excadrill is probably more common than Dragonite Starmie.
Yeah,
But I can't be sure, I guess.
True.
Mhm.
Yeah. I mean, that depends on your pool because, for example, in Black and White Swiss, I have Thunder Starmie, which is just really stupid.
yeah,
And I think I saw two of those actually, two Thunder Starmies, which was really funny to me, because both of the Starmies were round one picks. The Thunders was left till round two.
yeah.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, which is really stupid, because that Thunders
Mhm.
is broken and it should be like a top 3 pick, but it isn't for some reason. Yeah, but I don't have much to say about the semis as much as I do about the finals, which was
Alright.
Kumiko and Alice, and that is a replay I do have here. And uh, this game for as a matchup already was a very, very, very interesting one to me. As Dragonite, it was like so it could either so easily go either way. But I would say Kumiko had the better matchup due to the fact that Suicune is kind of uncontested here. But like still, it was a really, really, really cool matchup to see at first look. Personally,
Yeah, Suicune is a threat here for sure. Like Rotom Wash is like such a fake electric type is the thing. Like it's not it's no Thundurus, it's not even a Zapdos. And it's not even really close. Because like a lot of the time what it's doing is volt switching, which is weak as hell. And in this against like I've had this sort of matchup before. I like with like a Rotom versus a Suicune. Um and like you really feel the pressure to run like 2 electric moves because like Volt Switch doesn't do fucking anything to a +1 Suicune like
Yeah.
at all. So it can really run away with the game quickly if you don't do something about it.
yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Something I would have been worried of on Kumiko's side was potentially Cresselia, but even then you have a Roar, so you can pretty easily just run Roar, Calm Mind, Scald, and then last move. Like if you wanna bring like Rest, you can bring it with Chesterberry pretty easily here. So
Yeah, you could.
that would have been kind of scary, I guess. I don't remember if Rotom gets Nasty Blood yet. I don't think it does.
No,
I don't think
No,
so.
no, not yet.
no.
Yep, that would have been a good prospect. I probably would have brought like a specs Rotom myself here, because it outspeeds so much things, and Hydro is really good into this team. But even still, and I think in the replay, as much as I remember about it, because I haven't watched it since I saw it live, but I remember it being a really good game, was that that Suicune kind of like it defined the matchup totally, and then because Healing Wish is a broken move, it kind of got 2 tries, and then it just won the game due to that fact.
Yeah, I think that's okay. Well, that's actually something really interesting we should talk about also is that these are two like I think you could definitely call it doesn't always have to be this way. I think that Alice's team much more like lends itself to basically always being a Volt turn team. Whereas like I think Kumiko's doesn't always have to be this, but like often is going to be that because you have Raikou, Infernape, Mesprit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But like something that we should say is that like with that in mind is that these are two like aggressive Volt turn teams with Healing Wish specifically. They are both running Healing Wishers as support in Mesprit and Cresselia, which Lunar Dance, but like the same move, right?
yep.
Yes.
So yeah, like really interesting comparison there, as far as how they're making use of that.
Yeah.
One thing I would want to say is that I think this is just gonna be a quick note. Suicune is very underrated
Oh, I agree.
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
people kind of ignore the fact that Calm Mind, it is still a Suicune that is extremely fat with Scald and Calm Mind. Like people kind of forgot that it's really good as a setup sweeper, and then only look at it for its defensive use when it is so good as a Calm Minder and a Rest Talker. But yeah,
hmm
yeah. So let's obviously go into the game. Uh, no surprises on preview here, like literally nothing.
No, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
just
I mean, they're both
yeah.
just running top six. I
Guys.
mean, that's
yeah.
hmm
And then pretty good lead for Alice in case this is like Choice Band Scizor or Choice Scarf Scizor, because this has a chance of dying right away. This Mesprit.
Mhm.
So just a very fortunate lead, I would say, to Alice. Though, yeah.
Yeah, and you can really afford to just kind of lead with this, even into like the Infernape and the Raikou and whatever, because I mean Cresselia just like eats, so like it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And yeah. Yeah, reveals being choice carved, and this reveals being very defensive. So,
Mm-hmm.
Air Balloon is awesome for Mold Breaker Excadrill.
yeah, I was
Yeah.
about to even say. I took a picture.
I think I have done something kind of similar with Shuka Bronzong, but it was into double Mold Breaker. I think that's just awesome idea though overall.
Yeah. I mean, it's showcasing why Excadrill is such a good mon offensively, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like I don't think I've talked about it much, but checking like Moldbreaker Excadrill is such a pain, like such a huge pain.
Yep.
Because
For
like
sure.
you very, I don't know, really often you find yourself just not having like a flyer.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
just such good floaters that don't fly.
Yeah, there's
But
so
like,
much levitate. Yeah, I like to try to get a real flying type if possible, but it's just not always possible. And you run,
well, yeah, because
know.
you never like want to go out of your way to draft something that's weak to rocks unless it gives you
Yeah,
like a big upside of some
absolutely.
kind.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So it's just really
yeah,
tough.
And a lot of the good flyers are like Dragonite, Thunders, and Salamence, which are
yeah.
not real
They're all
switches.
going.
Right, yeah.
They're not. They're not loving switching into like a potential
So
rock slide.
you know,
They're
I
also
think
going
so.
quickly in the draft.
Yeah, I
Too.
mean, so we can talk more about Excadrill later. We
Okay,
should get on with the gaming. But I do
that's
have more to
fair.
say about it.
Yeah. Choice Scarf, U-turn. Yeah.
Yep.
Scarf Scizor is such a
Scizor
menace.
doing its thing. Yeah.
I've
Oh,
enjoyed
the
it.
nasty talk.
Toxic is nice on the Scizor. Yeah.
Yeah.
The rest,
Scizor
yeah.
switching out. It's pretty epic.
Yeah. Just it's getting a timer on so it can't counter set up on the
Yeah.
Suicune is really good.
Yeah, yeah.
Makes
The
ton of
Cresselia
sense.
getting worn down by that aggressive click is really nice.
Yeah.
Because it opens things up for the Infernape super well as well.
Yep.
Because like Cresselia also makes that guy's life awful.
Yeah. Interesting double I would say from Alice. I think
Yeah.
that idea here was to check in case it's choice carved, so you don't
Mhm.
lose your assholes right away. It
Mhm.
reveals not being choice carved with the switch, but still like really, like extremely understandable turn. Like it looks kind of bad on the hindsight, but it's so understandable to make during the game.
Mhm.
And then weird hidden power revealed, rocks up, really good. And I at this point I kind of expected, okay, that crit was really bad.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
until that turn, I kind of expected that Alice would win because the situation was looking so good for Alice. But then, yeah, that happens, and now Excadrill has a free game. So that is very uncomfortable.
Mhm.
Yeah, just losing the Rotom is so bad.
You know, something I will say, in fairness, in like absolute fairness to everyone, even without a crit, that energy ball is doing like 40%, and you're breaking the air balloon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
That's,
and the Rotom's paralyzed already. Excadrill is kind of already having a free game, even if you don't
yeah.
get the crit.
This is what I will say I don't love about the air balloon versus Shuka is just like you can see the air balloon right away and account for that and realize what's going on. Whereas Shuka, sometimes you can't survive the hit, but if you can, then it's just great to
Yeah.
basically reverse momentum. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. And this revealed not being choice carved earlier, so fair enough. Anyway, and then a weird play. The Shy Shock was, I don't think it was correct at all, but I understand the idea here. It's so easy to wheelchair after the game has happened. Because,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
sometimes you just have to go for the thing in front of you, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was fine.
Ooh.
Oh boy.
It's like you can take it early, but
Yeah. That was the only unfortunate part on Alice's end, I think, was that she did get unlucky in many ways. But then the luck that she didn't really get was. It was like. It wasn't terrible, but it was still like bad. Yeah.
Bunch of small things adding up.
Yeah. Because this could have been taken. This could have took like 20% from that fire blast, and it suddenly dies to the next layer of rocks after it tries to come
Rocks, yeah.
So that adds everything adds up so fast.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, then good play, or tries to go for it again.
Well,
this
yeah, it's
being
just
choice
like-
carved now.
It better be if it's going for this, yeah.
And then
Unless you're
Well, no,
Akaberry
it
for
wasn't
whatever
choice
reason.
cards. Yeah, it wasn't
Yeah.
choice cards.
I mean, you are trying to, yeah.
And it's
yeah,
not
you
choice
are
scarf
just,
at all. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just lying.
You can just scare them out like that sometimes. It's very
Yeah, you
possible.
can-
Yeah, I mean it's a genuinely like it just makes sense like
Mhm.
because I mean we've revealed that it's not Scarf Ape, or at least have like I mean we've revealed non-Scarf Ape, so like you see the Excadrill coming on the Azelf, and it's like, oh well,
There's
obvious.
gotta be a
Both
Scarfer
get
somewhere,
EQ'd.
and it's gotta be here. Yeah.
Yeah, and now the Suicune is in. And it is wanting to do stuff. Yeah, I think it's sub. Totally fair enough. And then you just called.
Did sub Calm Mind or
Calm
just
Mind.
like a Scald
Yeah,
set?
sub CM.
Yeah, sub CM. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what that's what I was pretty sure it was. I'm pretty sure it was.
Yeah.
Right.
And then you just 1v1 the Azelf, and because for later revelations, you're just playing. You're totally a-okay to take this trade. Because the Terrakion might get free entry, but like you don't, or you're not playing for this Dragonite here, so like you don't give a shit. So you're just
That
down
is-
to sack, almost sack this. And yeah, okay, good double from Alice's end, trying to get clawback into the Excadrill. I probably would have clicked CC again, but it's like a good play still. The double was fairly good. In case he went for the Raikou. And now, yeah, this is...
Yeah, now here's this is the end of the game, right? Like
this
it's over.
This
like,
was a pretty disgusting play. This was so disgusting. Then you just, Costa Berry, nothing you can do, you just, And then Suicune is at full, and this looks so dark.
absolute nightmare, yeah.
This is like the worst scenario. And then you get burned right away.
And it burns.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So
not.
Yeah, like
okay,
you
well,
kinda
I mean,
know that
in fairness, the Earthquake did 24 without a burn, right? Like, so like,
yeah, it didn't matter that much.
At
but
the end of the
this
day,
is choice band. I think
we can
as
do
it rolls
we
that
can
it could have killed.
let's see.
Yeah, Stone Edge. Yeah,
No, I mean it didn't
Yeah.
matter. Like, well, actually,
yeah.
no, it did because the Stone Edge. Well,
Well,
okay, not if that happens.
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
It's
Yeah,
like,
like, you
if
know
you
it's
get
all
one of the
now.
burns, and it's Scald, it can definitely get one of
Okay,
the
yeah.
burns.
I will
across.
say I did watch some of this finals. I did not watch all of it. I will admit. So some of this is news to me. But the Suicune going off, I do remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like nothing you can do about this. This game's over. Because this Suicune is about
Yeah.
to win. Yeah. And he tries to go for the sweep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Go for your win of choice using Excadrill.
Yeah, sub Earthquake. Like, what can you even do about this? And this game's over. Like, yeah. Very interesting finals. Obviously, RNG was not a fan to Alice this game, but
Yeah. Yes.
it was still a good finals. And yeah, the Suicune kind of popped off as I thought it would. Like, I saw the matchup and
Yeah,
I
I
was
mean-
like, okay, Suicune is gonna pop the fuck off.
Yeah. I mean the Toxic on the Cresselia was just, I think, really did just define this game in a lot of ways, because like it wears down like one of the more solid defenses that Alice has versus like not just the Infernape but also the Suicune. because it can like 1v1 the Suicune pretty effectively because it has instant recovery and Suicune doesn't.
Yeah.
But if it's toxic, then like you can't.
Yeah.
You just can't compete with it. So like the toxic on the Cresselia really was just such a defining play for like the long term of this game.
Yeah. It was kind of what broke the camel's back in the eye. I would say still that Funnels was fairly good. Yeah, but yeah, the RNG was.
Yeah, I
Kumiko
mean
was
the RNG I think definitely like sealed it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But like
that's what
I
I'd say.
I don't think that anything. I don't think that I do think the Toxic on the Cresselia was a really heads up move. I think it was very game defining, but I don't think it was necessarily the end of the game.
Yeah.
Um, uh, I do think that like it puts Kumiko in a very favorable position long term.
Yeah.
But still, the RNG I think is really what sealed it, which is unfortunate. But like we still got to see some good Pokemon played, which
Yeah.
is
Yeah,
what's
yeah.
important ultimately.
Yeah. And yeah. And I'm just waiting forward. Back when Smogon Black and White 2 starts in January, that we can like see these two again compete because Alice is busy with Black and White Premiere and Komiko is busy with other things, so they didn't join this the current tour. But I'm still excited to see with them in January in the second major tour of the format when like shit can happen again.
Mhm.
And yeah, and that I think smoothed us over fairly well to tiering changes that went after or happened. So I have this post over here,
Mhm.
and yeah, um, yeah. So a lot of changes happened, and I wrote the rises. There were quite not many rises, and I can actually get up the list now that I think about it because I didn't write a ton of the change logs. Something
Right.
I chose to ignore was the fact that me and Mona I just forgot to include that Landers Incarnate had got a price cut by 1 point. It wasn't shown here and it wasn't shown anywhere else.
Oh
Hmm.
no.
Yeah, but it got a price
Okay,
cut.
yeah, this is well then yeah, this is actually news to me. I didn't because it wasn't
Mhm.
on this, so
Yeah,
Yeah.
I did
it
not know
went
that.
from 15 to 14.
Right.
Mhm.
It wasn't listed.
It's
I mean that's like
it's
I mean that's fine. I don't mind that.
Yeah,
yeah. I'm like not strongly opinion. I see where it's coming from. I'm like, yeah, okay, that could make sense.
Yeah, I mean Lando is like Lando is like a good Pokemon, but it's not like really like potent unless it's on sand. So it is just like
Yep.
situational.
yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
yeah. And yeah, obviously we can probably go over the rises. So Terrakion went to 18 to share that spot with Garchomp, and I would say no
Mhm.
surprises there.
Yeah.
Like totally
Mhm.
deserved.
Yeah, for
For
sure.
sure.
Absolutely defining threat that every team is going to have, going to aim for something that's going to outspeed it, and then you still want, defensive counterplay and whatever. It's just very, very defining.
Yeah. Something I have been going over with another top layer called Ponytail was that now people are gonna respond to Terrakion more heavily now that they kind of understand that it is so absurdly strong. So I kind of expect that it will do badly in this current tour in specific because people are responding so heavily to it with like drafting Slowbros and shit. Because I think there were quite the many Slowbros drafted, for example.
Oh,
This
Mhm.
yeah,
I
fair
this
can
was
enough.
imagine.
this was something
Yeah,
that Miko was talking about in Draft Help in the Small Gun Court that Slowbro is absurd at checking Terrakion, so pick it up if you're that worried.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
it
mean,
really
it
is.
does
Like,
so much already. Like on top of the checking Terrakion, it's just very, very good.
yeah, I mean, like Terrat, because like the thing that Slowbro kind of does is that like if you have like I don't know, like something fast and then also a Slowbro, the Terrakion is in like hell pretty quickly because like you can't like you basically have to be like one of Choice Band or Sword Stand to do anything to Slowbro at all.
Yeah,
These are the only sets that are strong enough to actually do any damage that like sticks. when you consider both Regenerator and Slack Off.
Yep.
And Scarf is like going to completely bounce off every time. Most other boosting items are going to bounce off every time. So like it really pigeonholes what you're able to do with the Terrakion, which is really significant because it means that you can more reliably like speed check it with something that you may have that's also fast, or what have you.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
And Terrakion, I think at 18 is now, because it's so like it is because Garchomp was the only one there, and people really respected Garchomp in the first Black and White tour. Like people were playing very carefully around it and all that shit, so it did kind of badly because people were so over prepping for it.
Right.
But then Terrakion, because people didn't really know how to prep for it, then it did really well.
Mhm.
And as I have written over here, it just proved itself to be one of the most successful Pokemon in the tier, and it because it defines so much about the tier. Like it is the fastest real or the fast mon of the format. Like 108 is the speed shoot bit because of Terrakion. Nothing else really matters in that area.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Even if Infernape is in that area, or Cobalion or Virizion for who all
Yeah,
out there.
like when you think about it conceptually, you're like outspeeding Infernape is nice, but outspeeding Terrakion is necessary. That's what I would say.
Yeah.
It's like you have to just be able to do that.
Then Starmie rose up, which was something Terrakion I had to convince Mona about. I'm not a council member yet, but I still had my hands on these changes, and this I had to convince Mona about that Terrakion should move. Starmie, he didn't. He was like, yeah, it should move.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Starmie's just one of those that was like I think 16 was just too low from the start,
Yeah.
considering what it does.
Yeah.
Just kind of has everything.
Yeah, which I mean, we went over how it wasn't really in Top Cut, but like, it's just gives you so much freedom, I think, with your draft in a lot of ways, because like it covers it checks a lot of boxes at
Yeah.
once, which is like the speed control and the really good spinner, and it's got a pretty good typing, and it's a good like threat in its own rights.
Yeah.
It kind of yeah, because it's what it does is because it spins every game if it wants to, is the thing with it, and that's something no other spinner I think can replicate. I guess Tentacruel and Blastoise to an extent, but like a Starmie will get the spin off if it wants to, if played well, and that is something that is so unique about it. So I really appreciate, or at least personally view it in a very high regard. I view it as it should be a middle round one pick, personally.
Yeah.
But that's a pretty outrageous take to have, to be honest. I am well.
I think it's like, yeah, I think it's justifiable for sure. It's just like it. Yeah, as we said, it does so much. Yeah.
Yeah. Then Kyurem moved up, and this was something I didn't even think about, to be honest. But yeah, it made total sense after we went over why it moved.
Yeah.
Like it has the strongest Draco in the format, and it just is so bulky, even while being an ice type. Like yeah, it is such a balancing factor. Because it has a HP stat of 120, I think. I know it doesn't have that high. Hold on, let me check.
It's above one. It's somewhere in that realm. It's like above
It's 125.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's even higher than that. Wow.
Yeah.
Like it's so.
Yeah, I knew it was very high. I think yeah, like if you do like the 101 HP subs, you're only investing what 52 EVs. It's not much at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember, yeah, because I had Kyurem Black once, and that's like not quite the same, but they do share the same HP stat. Of course.
Yeah,
I think Kyurem is super, deserving of this spot for sure.
Yeah.
It's
I mean,
fast, bulky, and clicks the best type of move.
Yes.
And yeah.
Yeah, and it can sub on everything.
Mhm.
It's just a matter of like getting reasonable hazard control, which can be tough, but is not impossible, obviously. So
Yeah,
I think that's fair.
yeah. Then Cobalion rose up, and this was expected. Like no
Mhm.
surprises there because it just. I know you guys don't play SV Draft, but it behaves so similarly to Iron Threads in SV, where it is so fast. It just has this all around good move pool with good stabs. It has Volt Switch. It has a good speed tier. It has rocks.
Huh.
Well,
I did
I've
not
played
know Iron Treads was
SVOU.
that fast.
I've played SVOU and SV Draft. So yes, I'm familiar with what Iron Thread.
Yeah,
I
Um,
am.
and yeah, pretty accurate. Yeah, like
Yeah.
the only thing is it's not a spinner, obviously, but like whatever.
yeah,
Yeah.
Can't be everything at once.
Yeah. Not until SV. Yeah.
Not in SV.
All right.
yeah. And
Yeah.
then Blastoise rose up to 13. Uh,
Mhm.
And my pretty much the reasoning was because Tentacruel is at 13, it shouldn't be at and it's pretty much equal to it, so it should be also at 13.
Yeah. I I mean, I've thought about Blastoise versus Tentacruel like quite a bit, and it really is just like preference and what fits your draft better. They do have pretty much equally good traits when it comes down to it, I'd say.
Yeah,
Yeah,
So
basically.
yeah,
Like if you don't want to be, it basically just comes down more often than not, from what I've seen, to how weak you are to ground types. Like
yeah, like is the
if you're
weakness worth the T spikes? Is like the
yeah,
long and short of it.
right, yeah,
There's
basically.
also like the speed stack can matter a little, but it's definitely less of a factor, honestly, than
yeah,
Yeah, I mean you're not really running tentacruels for the full extent of the speed
it's
stack,
nice to have
but it
some
is
like
nice.
outspeeds. Yeah,
yeah.
that's what I'm saying. It's just less defining,
To
but
be fair,
it's
to be fair, rain really when it's used on rain, the speed tier really does matter.
yeah. I mean I
That's
used
fair,
it
yeah.
on rain, so I guess that's more where I'm coming from. Yeah,
Yeah,
that was my experience with it.
yeah. When you
All
beat me
right.
in UCL.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then Rotom and Mesprit both had really similar reasonings. With Mesprit, pretty much the reason for Mesprit is it has Healing Wish and U-turn.
Mhm.
And then Rotom is just a very good all around. Rotom is just a very good all around man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Renamo.
Yeah. Me too.
Yeah.
It's just I mean all the Rotom forms that have reasonable typings are just going to be very good. And I mean, to like some extent, it is just going to be that Rotom Heat and Rotom Frost and Rotom Fan obviously all just kind of suck because they're weak to rocks. So you end up with like the two viable ones. I think Rotom Heat is like decent, but it's going to be hard to
Yeah, I mean
fit a lot of the
Rotom Heat
time.
obviously the
Yeah,
best of those three. Um,
yeah,
but like I would say, yeah, like because Rotom Mo sort of it's basically just the budget Rotom wash, right?
yeah,
Because it has like
yeah.
the
Rotom Mo
same
feels so much more splashable. As
because
yeah,
it's not weak to rocks and it has the same sort of dynamic with Leaf Storm as like a really strong stab move that kills ground types. So
mhm,
it's really intimidating to switch your ground type into it
Yeah.
yeah,
at all times.
Yeah. And
Um,
yeah, and it has the
mhm,
benefit of having the secondary grass typing, which makes it after a Smackdown or a Gravity, it isn't weak to ground or like
mhm.
yes, that's true.
yeah, like
Yes,
it's not weak to Mold Breaker Excadrill.
4x T-Bolt resist can also just be like very nice. I wouldn't like.
yes.
I mean, I wouldn't use as the sole electric resist. I still think you want ground type in there, but you can try it. I guess it's something
Yeah,
that comes in handy.
I think Rotom Mo plus a ground type is like pretty solid at making Thundurus's life obnoxious because like
Yeah,
the thing is Thundurus can easily tech like Sludge Wave for Rotom Mo if it really wants to hit it harder than HP
yeah,
Ice. But like when you also have a ground type that makes it kind of awkward.
Yeah.
Because like now you have to commit like all of Thunderbolt and Sludge Wave and like Grass Knot.
Yeah.
Um,
yeah.
and
Or
that's
you
just
just
with
do
two
HP
Pokemon.
ice and be kind of weak into everything, and it's like
Yeah.
not ideal
Yeah, I mean
either.
you can do HP Ice, but like I mean it depends on the ground type. But
Yeah, Yeah, that's true. If it's a
Uh,
water ground type, you're just kind of shit out of luck. Yeah.
yeah, then Kofagrigus moved up because yeah, it rose to the meta as it kind of held together balance in this tournament.
Yeah. We saw how it performed already. That was a very impressive showing on taking the justified Terrakion Stone Edge and like taking half. So
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah, yeah, and it what became kind of this key like it's so funny when I'm proven right, but I expected that it would become like this Terrakion answer or balance teams looking to use spin like hazards and shit, and that is kind of what happened. Is that it is so bulky and with like 145 in defense, and it can run leftovers, and it has a good special attack stat with 95 for like a spin blocker. So it just checked so many things in this meta, which made it really good, I think. And yeah, obviously it rose, and it had an insane. I actually did I have this? Uh, Hold on. Uh, just a second. There. Yeah, it got drafted 22 times, which is kind of insane.
Yeah.
Like,
That's really crazy because, I mean, you look at everything else relative to it. It's like, I mean, besides Dawn Fan, all of these are like very expensive. I guess there's like four. So if you're not like a spinner or a steel type, like it's very surprising to see you up like this far up and getting drafted.
yeah,
So
like it got drafted only two less times than Politoed did,
yeah,
which is like this is the permanent rain generation, so like it is still
yeah,
yeah, and then all of these five rose up. Something
nope,
I did want to discuss was Lantern in specific because I'm kind of sad that I didn't write about it, but here we have Lantern.
yeah,
So it just has the TLDR is that it has a very unique defensive profile for the meta, being a water and an
yep,
electric type that is immune to both water and electric.
yeah. It's like a super good Thunderous Therian answer. It's
Yeah,
it's amazing because
yeah,
it also takes like nothing from Grass Knot. It's like 40 base power or something on it. So
Yeah, because Lantern, yeah, it weighs
yeah,
like, I don't know, something like 40
it's
pounds or whatever. Like,
yeah.
yeah.
So it
He's
forces
on a diet, so
yeah,
true.
so it kind of forces like Thunders to run fucking hidden power ground, which is awful.
Yeah, I like someone ran like nasty plot psychic into me when I had the lantern. I'm like, I can't really blame you. It's like it's hard to just hit this thing generally. I had
Yeah,
to like try to do something different with
yeah,
it, basically.
and I specified that it's extremely good on sand in specific, and that is how I feel about it. That it's because it needs the secondary grass type to be with it because it's not a ground resisting water or a ground
Mhm.
like neutral water. So it kind of needs this strong grass type in a core. So it's especially good on sand.
Yeah,
Like the sand I had at CTL, for example, it was very good in it because I had Bronzine
Mhm.
and fucking Virizion, so I had no problems with grounds.
yeah. I think I did like a similar thing with like Thunderous Theory and just like covered its weaknesses pretty well, honestly. So if you have like Polytoad Thundy Rain, that is an option. Although yeah, I would just say like that's definitely an option actually.
Yeah, it is not the best
No
option,
buts
but it's
about
an
it.
option.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, yeah. Then there were a lot of falls. I listed the most relevant ones here, and it's funny that you bring Politoad and Thunders.
Oh,
It's just really
hey, well
funny.
there you go. You can afford your lantern more easily now, even though it's gone up.
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
So
All right.
Rain was just
Yeah,
really bad.
that's fair.
Yeah,
That's
I
the
mean,
only thing I would say about like using lantern on rain is that you're using rain, unfortunately. But
yeah, I mean, yeah, it's just like I remember when we did this the first time, we were talking about
yeah,
like the number of rains that made it past like round one was
hmm
like or like
yeah,
the number of rains that like made it out of pools. That's what we were talking
Yeah,
about. The number of rains that made it out of pools was like so it was really it was not good. And it
yeah,
seems like the trend of like rain like failing to convert like just kind of continued.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah, only 11 rains, which
Hmm.
gave it an awful win rate because it had less than 50% in win rate. So that's
Yeah.
awful for a meta-defining threat in like rain. So Polydot just
Mhm.
fell because it didn't kind of do anything. Yeah, because Polydot itself doesn't have a defined best set, so
Yeah.
it's a very weird mon to protect because it's your main mon in a rain draft, and then it just doesn't do anything itself. Like obviously it's gonna
Hmm.
do shit because it's in rain. It's a water type in rain, so it's gonna hit hard with like hydros, or it is gonna hit hard with even with scarfed, and scald is a broken move, I guess. But it doesn't have anything special going for it outside of like encore maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not like standout on its own for sure. It's just that whether you're going all in on basically, which I don't think is like ideal by any means. I think that's been discussed already. That like it's good if you can like swing it late, but beyond that, it's not really ideal at all.
Yeah. Uh, and Gliscor then fell, and that was to be expected.
Yeah, that's yeah, that's fair. I mean, reading up on like your summary here, like it does make sense, like why it would fall. I think it has potential, but I haven't admittedly looked into it
Yeah.
like a ton.
I'm using Gliscor in Black and White Swish right now, and it has been feeling really good. But I
Yeah,
did feel the fact that it's so optional locked.
yeah,
yeah,
I
I
think
mean,
that's fair.
for
Like
sure.
the
Yeah, I
four
mean,
MSS
I
is
am.
gonna hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I am also using it in Black and White Swiss. I only built for it. I didn't play because my opponent got sick the day of, and we just didn't play. Um, but in any case, while I was building, um, I really do. I guess I feel like the four move slot syndrome that you talk about in this post. But like it does feel really good. I think at the same time as just like this. Um,
Yeah,
generally like it's just generally so it's like really good at checking like a lot of physical stuff. Um, it's like it's a really good pivot. I think its ability to be like to have like a menacing-ish speed stat while also being able to slow pivot, I think is really cool.
Yeah.
Um, and also functionally being immune to status
Yeah.
is really
yeah,
cool also.
Yeah.
So I think it's a really cool mon. It's a shame that it didn't. It's a shame that it has the problems that it does, but it makes sense. I mean, it is what it is.
yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, so
And
I hope it'll perform a little bit more.
it's like
Mhm.
this isn't meant as a negative or a upside, but having poison ability, it is like yes, it's amazing, but it locks you into an item. So
Mhm.
so that's something to that even more amplifies the problem of you having uh you being option locked. But then
Yeah,
after all, it's fucking poison heal, so you don't might have the time because poison
yeah.
heal is an amazing ability.
I have I think there was like a team tournament where we got like surprised by a setup Gliscor that was not running Poison Heal, but I think the actual opportunities for it doing that effectively are few and far between.
Yeah,
Yeah, fair enough.
yeah. Then Cloister and Volcarona went down. They were awful. You know, like only Volcarona went drafted 12 times, Cloister 13, and
Mm.
only two Cloisters and only three Volcaronas in round of or first round in pools
Oh,
or brackets,
that's very
and they just struggle.
unfortunate.
It they just struggle into the fact that Stealth Rock is so meta right now.
Well, yeah, definitely. Always gonna have that target on their backs.
and then
Yeah.
then the fact that rapid spin hasn't been nice to them because they need so much from the team, and you need to plan so far
Mhm.
ahead for them, and then they just people kind of ignored the fact that they really need support to be good, and then they
Yeah.
didn't get the support
Oh
they
yeah,
needed.
that's fair. Yeah,
Yeah,
if you're just being so cavalier with either of these, it's going to bite you really badly.
yeah, it's like it's kind of awkward, I think, in draft to draft around these because like Cloister, like just thinking about the spinners that people are taking, Cloister doesn't seem awesome with like most of them, right? Like,
A lot of water
um,
types, you know,
it's a lot of
just
water
generally.
types, like, and you don't really want to be layering water types when like Thunderous is like the top three super mega
Hmm.
threat. Um, and then like you got like Donphan, which I really think is not a proper like
Yeah,
not a proper spinner for the pace that you want a
yeah.
team that you where you're picking Cloister.
I don't think
Like
would be like the.
Excadrill might be the best, but I don't know. It just doesn't seem like it has great synergy with like most spinners. So
Yeah,
it feels kind of awkward to pick,
I
and
think.
which is ironic considering it is also a spinner. But like, I mean,
Yeah,
if you're
uh,
drafting Cloister to click spin, I think we might have our priorities a little bit backwards.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and I think Volcarona is a lot better than Cloister is. So
I
I
agree,
maybe made a
actually.
I made a mistake of clumping them together because Volcarona actually like enjoys being built around. It likes like
Mhm.
it's able to be slotted with like Starmie. It's able to be slotted with Tentacruel,
Yeah.
Blastoise, and all that garbage, all that
Yep.
like good stuff. So then Volcarona is I think is way more like splashable. Obviously Cloister is like far stronger outright when it gets set up, but then Volcarona is way more consistent in winning the games, I feel.
Yeah, and
Yeah, because I mean, yeah,
you can like abuse resist fairies on Volcarona as long as it's probably not like rock type moves, but like a Pasho Berry or like I guess that'd be the main one. But like getting set up in the first place is a lot easier when you're like not Cloister and you like die to a T-Bolt even through your Wakan Berry. But
right,
yeah.
yeah. It is also just like kind of a gamble with Cloister because like you have to run like your setup move being Shell Smash is really awkward because like
Yes.
you make yourself basically O-code by everything. And you it's really hard to run White Herb, I feel like, because like you kind of like a lot of the time you're kind of gonna want to resist berry. You might sometimes even want a boosting item because like especially versus like water types, Cloister misses out on a lot of ranges against
Yeah.
water types because it doesn't have very good moves to
Yeah.
hit them except HP Grass. Um,
Yes.
and so it's just kind of like it just has issues.
Yep.
When it comes to getting those get actually pulling off the sweep that you might have in your head.
Yeah.
Whereas I think Volcarona, one of the things that I think is interesting with Volcarona is I think Volcarona is completely competent, not even clicking Quiver Dance.
Yep.
Um,
That's fair.
Whereas Cloister is like completely helpless unless it Shell Smashes.
Yeah.
It doesn't do anything unless it Shell Smashes. Whereas like Volcarona, I think you literally can just have like you can have Lord Volcarona, you can have like whatever, and just like you can
Mhm.
just be clicking buttons with it because it already has at base a solid speed stat and it's really strong already. So like you can just like be clicking buttons with it at
Mhm.
all times. And I think that makes it a lot more versatile in game as well as like in the builder.
Yeah.
So that's why I think I would definitely respect it more.
I feel that Gloucester is gonna go further down after Black and
Mhm.
White 2. Uh,
Yeah.
I don't think there will be tiering changes between Black and White Swiss 1 and then Smogon Black and White 2 because it's so soon after the first tiering changes. I wouldn't at least support doing any tiering changes before Smogon Black and White 2 because it's in January and the potential
Mhm.
team tour is coming up. So I really want this like these tiers to be if yeah, and that is gonna be something we will go over later. But if the team tour ends
Yeah.
up getting Black and White draft, I really want these tiers to be the established ones, so that top, like the actual best draft players have time to adjust to this new format and not have everything thrown out of the window after like no time at all. So I really don't. I'm not. I'm against doing any tiering changes after this first batch before January. So
Right.
I think Cloister is gonna go further down eventually, but Volcaron
Yeah.
is I think is gonna stay up at 14 because it will
That
just
makes
people after people like explore it more. People, I think people will find success with it. But Cloister is I
yeah.
think is that bad. It has that large flaws, or it should go more down, which is so
That makes
weird to
sense.
me because I was so big on banning it from OU, but this just proving that the draft isn't OU.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yep. Then Heatran. Heatran. Oh, my poor boy. Heatran is a really weird mon.
Yeah.
I mean,
Hmm.
because it's a fire type that is defined by being offensive, and or it's sorry, I misspoke. It's a steel type that is defined by being offensive while not having U-turn or anything of that sort to really like support its own offensive needs. So it needs team support to be like offensive, and that is very
Hmm.
very very weird from a steel type.
Yeah. That's fair. Very interesting.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
as
mean,
you
I agree.
said, like it's definitely like not bad, but like it is like a little awkward to use, I suppose. I think yeah, it's I don't know. It might just be kind of like Volcarona in that sense where it just like needs like different kind of support obviously, but support nonetheless, and then it can really just go bonkers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Miko.
I mean, I don't have a lot to say about on the topic of Heatran. I mean, like,
Yeah,
I I have drafted it once, in fact, but I did also have it drafted with a second steel in the form of Skarmory, which I think is probably the best pairing it could ask for because it's a steel type that is
Mm,
immune to ground,
yeah,
and checks like all the things that it can't check. Um,
yeah.
so like as your soul, if it's your soul steel, I think it poses a lot of issues. Like,
Yeah.
if you can swing a secondary steel that like rounds out that rounds out those problems, then like it's not that bad.
Yeah. Skarmory for sure. I think Scizor would also be very reasonable. Just the fighting and the ground neutrality at minimum.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
for
I mean,
sure.
Yeah.
I have seen it drafted with Cobalion too, but that
Oh
requires
yeah.
some more specifics. But yeah, with
Yeah.
Cobalion, for example, it just needs like momentum grabbing steel or just a hard walling steel. Because Cobalion, for
Mhm.
example, is just it can because it pivots Heatran in, and then it can go hard with like specs because it's so good
Yeah.
offensively. That is the thing that Heatran has going for it. It's that it's so absurdly good offensively, where you have to give up things defensively. Because fire is a really good typing in this format, funnily enough, which was something I didn't expect. But it's just really good type. It's a really good type because it's a steel like a steel type that beats opposing steels. It makes its like fundamental strength so high, where I think it might be worth building around. But at the end of the day, people don't really want their steel to be like an offensive threat that it doesn't contribute much defensively. That is not something people look for in this format. So
Yeah.
yeah, kind of
Yeah.
similar things to apply to Mamoswine with being a ground type, but not really a ground type. So it went down
Yeah.
2 points in these changes. It went down from 14 to 12.
Oh wow. Yeah.
And it was pretty
Hmm.
brutal. And I totally get why. We talked about this with Eva Kiamia, which was that it doesn't do that much. It is drafted for being a ground, and then you're an awkward offensive mon with a
Yeah.
relatively bad speed of 80, which doesn't
Yep.
outspeed that much. Like yeah, you can outspeed like some targets with Choice Scarf, but then you don't outspeed like what comes to mind. Yeah, like you don't outspeed a Dragonite at +1, for example, with Choice Scarf, which is
Right.
really bad. So
Yeah.
you really rely on this ice shot move, and it is kudos to it. It is very good offensively, but then it's just doesn't do with that because it's a ground type after all.
Yeah.
It has to be judged for being a ground type because it's a ground type in this format, and it doesn't perform anything at all as a ground
Right.
type.
Yeah, it's not like solid enough as a ground type, and it's not fast enough as this offensive, ice type. That it just kind of feels disappointing both ways, for sure. Because yeah, you can scarf it, but as you said, there are still speed thresholds you're not going to hit. But there are also like you don't want to be basically pigeonholed into scarfing only it for most of your games. That's also very inflexible.
Yeah, that's a pretty accurate summation. I never drafted this guy, but yeah, it has all those issues for sure.
I have never drafted this guy either, and those are the things I think of as to why I'm like, yeah, it's not good enough typing, and it's not fast enough, and it's like if I had one of these things, maybe, but maybe at 12 points it'll find some more success.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Mamoswine's greatest role in OU is like that it completely feasts on like the a lot of more standard. Well, at least at certain times. I'm not sure what the OU landscape looks like right now. I can't describe it in full detail, but Mamoswine tends to at least feast on a lot of common sand structures.
Mhm.
Um, because like they generally don't have Rotom Wash that often. They're a lot more often like Lando T, Ferrothorn, Latios, etc. And
Yeah.
Mamoswine completely eats those alive. Whereas like you're not really going to see that sort of structure that often,
Hmm.
and it's going to be a lot more of like just fast, strong stuff that Mamoswine is outsped by and dies
Yeah.
to. It's just not as effective.
Yeah. When like the Latios and like the T-Tar core is just like Latios is banned obviously, and then T-Tar can like do all sorts of different team structures. So like you're not really hitting a specific archetype super strongly with Mamoswine, but you can like definitely hit most teams with the good general coverage. But
Yeah,
just
sure.
the other
Like
issues hold
it's
it
not
back a
yeah,
bit.
it's fundamentally like solid, but it's just not like
Yeah,
that not that like strong on matchup into most things. It
exactly.
is it is still going to be good into a lot of those into a lot of those sand
Yeah,
teams though, because I mean a lot of those sand teams are like exactly the same thing, which is like T-Tar and one of the Landorus's and
yeah,
like, something else. So like but that matchup is not super common.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. And I mean, I have run it in a speed tour once or twice, I think, and the feeling I have got from it is that its place is on hyper offense, obviously. That is where it
yeah,
slots best, and its best set in black and white draft context is the substitute set. It isn't that good as a choice band user, but it likes if it can get the sub off, it can be very dangerous because nothing really switches naturally into it outside of the Rotom Wash. But then it isn't consistent at keeping its sub up first of all, and then it isn't that
mm,
it isn't gonna get that many opportunities in this fast-paced metagame to get the sub off.
yeah,
So it just doesn't fit the metagame right now, and
yeah,
that is something that happens at times. It is like Mamoswine I think will always struggle in this metagame, even no matter how cheap it is, because it just doesn't fit the meta.
yeah. That's fair.
Yeah. Then we discussed Suicune earlier, but
Yeah, I was surprised to see this because, of course, it did like great things, but of course, if it's not getting picked up that much in the first place, then hmm. I'm like a little torn about this, but I understand where the price cut is coming from.
yeah,
It's just like I don't know. Sometimes it does so much, but I didn't see it get used that much, so I think it makes sense overall.
yeah, that is kind of yeah. I explained it that it has so much competition for its role,
Yeah,
but
that's
that
fair.
thing I low key think is a skill issue that people aren't drafting it.
Yeah,
I really like it, but I'm a big fan of Starmie, so I will always prior that, and I don't like going with two water types in a
yeah,
Thunder's meta. But
yeah,
Suicune just isn't getting drafted, and yeah, it's a skill issue, is my opinion on it. Like, it should be getting drafted more than it is because it has
yeah,
these awesome traits as a combine sweeper and a substitute user and a roar, like a disruption mon. Just Scald is a broken move, and any mon that can consistently click it for a lot of time, for many turns,
Yeah,
it's just gonna be good. And Suicune is one of the best call users in the meta.
yeah. At its price point, you might just see more people pick it up, try it out, realize it's really good, and then it goes back to its original price with newfound appreciation. But we'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, definitely possible.
Yeah. Jellicent, huh?
Yeah.
What was that? 13? Yeah, it's a bit high. I could see that.
Yeah.
But that win rate is crazy.
60.
It's
Oh,
so
wow.
bad. Yeah, it's so bad.
Oh, wow. I need to recheck this thing's stats real quick.
It has sevens. It has
Yeah, these are not
yeah.
amazing.
Its stats,
Yeah.
its stats are not as good as you would hope.
It has a neat move pool, but it's not strong enough to really execute like any of these coverage moves. Yeah. I could see this thing being spread pretty thin no matter how you try to use it, which, the basics of Scald Recover are definitely the best anyway.
Yeah. My personal cook with it was using it on Rain with a Choice Scarf and using it with Fire Sprout. So that has been my personal cook. But yeah, it just had an abysmal win rate. Like 16% is like fucking insane.
Yeah, but you still need oh gosh, you still need Timid to outspeed base 100s, don't you?
Yeah.
Oh gosh, that's rough.
Yeah, it's rough.
Yeah, this thing's not great.
Yeah. I mean, I think it should have gone a tad bit lower too. It should have gone to 11, in my opinion.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah,
for
but
sure.
it like the fact is that it's a spin blocker and a water type in one roll, so it is good roll compression.
Yeah.
But then if it doesn't do anything for being
it sounds really nice. It sounds like Superior. It's like, well, this sounds really cool, and then you use it, and it's very disappointing.
Yeah, that is.
All right.
Disappointment. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I put in Abomasnow as the final one.
Yeah.
And I was just so sad to see that Abomasnow only got one pickup and that it didn't even make it through. I felt so bad.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't say it's not expected. I think that I'm not going to go so far as to say that this Pokemon isn't good or isn't viable because I mean I haven't used it myself, but this strikes me as a very difficult one to use, and draft properly, because and it's arguable, I think, whether or not like drafting it and drafting as carefully as you probably should with it is even worth it. Is kind of the thing that I'm worried about.
Yeah, that upside might just not be worth it. Yeah, I can believe that.
Yeah,
I mean it seems to have kind of a role, right? Which is to say, like in OU, it usually appears on these like hail offenses, right? Which is like you just have like a weather that is not sand. It wears down everything, including steals. For your like threats, like your big dragon types, which like can still potentially apply. It's just like, it's just Abomasnow. It's Abomasnow. That's the issue. Is that it's Abomasnow.
It's like your other team member could also just be like a pivoter to help like versus steals or anything really. It's just like
exactly.
There are plenty of ways to pressure steals that aren't Abomasnow, and I think most of them, if not all of them, are better. So that's that. Unfortunately.
Yeah. Something I was surprised by was Ninetales not going down from 8 to 7 because it just doesn't. It didn't get pickups at all.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it didn't go down, so I can just check how much it is. Yeah,
Ninetales is like an interesting mon. I think it's like I don't know. It's got like a more interesting stuff going on like move pool wise. I think it's an interesting utility mon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is helpful. And I think Sun is like an underexplored like concept, generally speaking. Which means so is Hail, but
it's reasonably fast, which can be good, but it's not.
Like... Yeah, I mean, well, I'd be interested to see more cooking with it to see if it really. I think the fact that it didn't get any pickups is like a fine reason to not move it because like we really haven't even seen how it performs when it gets used by anyone.
Maybe.
So like
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's
I'd like
worth
to.
like waiting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Personally, if I was there, I would be like, I'd move it down just a bit to see it get used some, and then go from there. But I understand both ways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then I didn't go over that many, but like yeah, Bralum went down.
Yeah.
Rodon went down to fucking 3, I think, which was from 7. Sharpedo
Oh,
went
really?
down, Gothitelle went down, Umbreon went down, blah blah blah. Like a lot of mons.
Yeah.
And I think my biggest like takeaway from these changes was that Rain should have gotten a lot better. I don't think it people really didn't draft it, but Rain should have gotten a lot better after these
Yeah.
changes because so many like Rain's abusers are so weird. And I show a case in in my guide that like it has so many like random ass abusers like fucking Wish Cat
Yeah.
of all things. Like it's a really good Rain abuser because it has the Hydration, Rest, and Dragon Dance. So
Yeah.
Rain I think should like popped off after this. Something to note is that Tornadus went down too. I think.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah,
I see it
Tornadus
on
went
there.
down. Yeah.
Tornades Incarnate, 13 to 12. Yeah.
So Rain should have gotten a lot better. So that's something
Hmm.
I'm curious to see in the future,
Yeah.
especially in Smogon and Black and White 2, is that if Rain is gonna pop off now that it's gotten like a lot better in terms of each being cheaper, and you can like afford a Dragonite more reliably on that, or you can afford
Yeah.
like a really good high end mon with, you can afford the Starmie. Well, Starmie went up, but like you can you get a Starmie plus Politoed and a really good abuser more easily now that Politoed is lower, and then you can just fill out these like later round water types. So that was my takeaway. Is that Rain should have gotten a lot better, and then the structures that were already good will like continue being good. That is like nothing changed drastically, I would say, in the meta, but like range got buffed, and then the structures that were already getting picked up are gonna get picked up. Like Slowbro is gonna get a lot more chances now, I think, because people are just realizing more things about like how defining this Terrakion mon is, and then Copalion is gonna get a lot more pickups. Kyurem is gonna get a lot more pickups because people are seeing that it's a very good mon. Like people are just realizing that things are as good as they are. So that is the thing with being a really new meta or a really good meta game, is that people things just aren't discovered yet. So people will just keep discovering these things.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, that's maybe for the draft during changes. And now for the last thing, which was the future of the format. And I want to discuss this one first because it's so major, where Black and White draft is being considered for custom avatar teams or as a format. And that is something I was, if you guys had anything to say about it.
I think that's neat. I like the idea of this metagame getting more exposure in like team tournaments and that environment, because that can be a little different from individuals a lot of the time from what I've seen and experienced in playing tournaments.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. I think that any more exposure for this format is really cool. Because I think this format's really cool, and I think that I think that I haven't played like a ton of say like current gen draft, so like, but I have played some, and I would say that like it lines up. I think it shares a lot of like, if not super surface level characteristics, and I think it shares a lot of like the gameplay and like philosophical sort of decision making sort of trait like characteristics with like current gen draft in terms of like how you are like building these like offense teams mostly.
Yeah.
And I think that like I think that makes it like an attractive draft format for a lot of people, and I think that that's a really cool thing. I think that it's a really interesting format, like, uh, and I think that the attention it's getting is really cool.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I kind of repeated myself a lot there, but yeah, I just think it's really sick, and
I
I
mean,
think more people should play it.
Yeah.
it is a cool metagame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as like the because yeah, I can say this. As like the head moderator and like the main driving force in the metagame, I just really would wanna see like the. I know that like people like Undead who are very vocal in this, who are like one of the best players and the best draft players like King L5, Syncue, Chase Curve, all that people like are kind of not liking the idea because they don't just want it to be that people are slotting for like Scarlet and Violet players are being slotted into a format they don't want to play because they just the mainers aren't good enough to play. So that is a
Hmm.
common. I just do worry about that personally because I don't like outside of like Mona, Alice, Komiko, for example. I don't see many teams or caliber players in Black and White Draft right now, but I'm just excited that the good players would have like would need to touch the meta more and would have a chance to like explore it if they are like curious about it. So that's something because
Yeah,
like
yeah,
the reality is that top players being playing the format is gonna attract them to play it more if they like enjoy it, and the top players don't really care about anything right now in draft outside of the team source because there isn't really any incentive to. And the fact is that the draft is unlike like other metagames. It is the same players just playing the tours over and over again. So team turn burnout has been very real as of recent among the
hmm
top players. So they really don't want to like put their time into something that they don't really give a shit about. And now that they're like kind of being put into a position where they have to care, so that would drive the meta further because it's played at the high stakes level, at the high end level, and I'm just really
hmm
excited to see that if it's possible that now stuff is gonna progress faster now that it's being put in front of the spectators and the top players. So I just really hope that
yeah,
it isn't completely shut down from the discussion, or because the players aren't good enough to play the format at the high level. So it should get play in the tournament, and I'm just
yeah. I
excited to
think
see if it like has a
no,
chance to pop up.
yeah, yeah. I think that like I think that yeah, like the exposure I think is really the thing here, and I totally understand like I think that the concern about team tour ready players is like a very understandable one. But like because at the end of the day, right, it's an old gen draft format that is not very explored. Um, like it's not even like to the same level as something like ADV, for example. Like me and Zinc both come from more from ADV draft. So like that and like that format has like long running offsite tours. And this one like is just kind of like Black and White Draft is like sort of just now getting this lift off the ground in this kind of sort of way. So it's
Mhm.
still very much in its infancy, and I think that just getting it out to anyone that might be interested in playing it is kind of mission critical, and
Yeah.
might if it turns out that people don't like it, people don't like it. I mean, what can I say about
Yeah.
it? But I hope that they do, and I hope that people give it a shot, and I hope that it becomes more relevant
Yeah,
through that.
Mhm.
yeah. And the second
Yeah.
thing I can talk about for the future is that Black and White Draft analysis is coming. Hopefully, it's a work in progress. Me and Mona have been asking, or Mona rather has been asking if it's possible, and I can probably say that that thing is a coming thing. That we're building up more resources for the format. That I love.
Mm.
And then can I really don't want to go in the circuit pretty heavily, but circuit is being worked on. That is something we're discussing in among the moderators, or have been for like 3 months now.
Mm.
So circuit is coming, and that is gonna hopefully after I get my payday, I'm gonna put a lot of money into that one.
Mm.
So circuit is coming. Hopefully draft analysis is coming if all goes dandy. And this is the like most major thing that is happening to Black and White draft. And then obviously Black and White 2 is coming in January.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Exciting.
So the future looks pretty bright, I would say, for the format.
Yeah. Very promising.
Yeah, and it's just I'll give myself the credit I do deserve. I have been putting a lot of hours into working on this format, so I'm just really happy that like it's being
Yeah.
the work is being taken seriously.
For sure. You've done doing a lot for this format.
Yeah. So yeah, I just do hope that everything that is being proposed happens, and we can explore this meta further than it has been right now, and we could see like actual top players emerge in the format, and we have already been seeing like signs of like really good players that specify in this format, like a long established SB player named Phonytail, who is like
Mhm.
approaching being like a top player in this format. For example, well, he doesn't take the format too seriously, but he still like enjoys it a lot, and he I think is gonna be like the big thing in this format if it becomes a team tour format, outside of like Mona obviously. And then I guess, well, I don't want to put myself in there, but it's and then but like there are people that are invested in this format that will just become good players over time. It just has to happen with the hours they're like putting in. So I'm just really
Mhm.
excited to see where everything goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have much to add, but yeah,
Yeah,
very much. I agree.
yeah, yeah. So I think we have said everything that we wanted to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was a very long awaited time that we finally came together and filmed this episode. So I'm really glad that we could make this happen today.
Yeah.
Because
It's
we
been
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think we got twice to the point that we were like almost gonna schedule or almost gonna film this, and then something came up. So I'm just glad that we could
Yeah.
finally film this, and it was
Yeah.
extremely nice talking to you after such a long time.
Yeah. You as well, of course.
Yeah, you too.
And yeah, I think we'll see again, or we'll film again once something happens again. And this time
Mhm.
it was something a lot had happened, so it was good that we were able to make this episode. And for the viewer, I'm just glad that you potentially enjoyed our rambling, and I hope to see you next time. So I'm gonna say goodbye.
Yeah.
Yep.
See you all next time.
See
Bye.
ya.